Okay, well, we're out of Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3. Should we tell him first why it took so long for us to go see it?
Alright. Here's what I think happened. I'm a victim of circumstance, is what this is.
I had to see this too.
Which time? The first time this was offered to me, Friday? Saturday?
It was Friday. It's, what day is this?
This is Tuesday.
Okay, so it was Friday because there was no midnight for this. And, we both had overslept.
Yeah.
We were gonna see it Friday, and then Saturday, Saturday you were sick.
Saturday,
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling very well.
Saturday you were sick, and then I think Sunday it was gonna be you, Irving, and Sarah, because you were gonna get Sarah back after the whole "that's my boy" thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
I still owe her for that.
I ended up crashing over at Alex's place by mistake because we were drinking until like 4 in the morning. And so they showed up at my place to get the camera, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, your little ass wasn't there. You son of a bitch! You keep waking. Woke up early for this.
Guess I can't go see Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3 this morning.
Goddamn, I had to wake up at the ass crack at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And so it was Monday, overslept again.
Yeah, no, it was all me.
Overslept again. I woke up at like noon. I overslept.
Did you?
Yeah, I overslept.
I woke
too.
up at like 1:30.
And so we finally saw it today because Sarah put the phone by Jake's head to wake him up.
Yeah, she did. And I got a morning call, so I got 2 of those things to wake me up.
Yeah. So we made it. We made it today, and it was really funny. It was funny because, like, when I put up me and Brian's video for Total Recall, like, midnight screening Total Recall, and, like, all the comments on Twitter were like, but, what about Jake and Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3?
Really?
Yeah. That's why when
damn it!
That's why when I updated Total Recall on the site, I had to below be like, don't worry, we're seeing the other movie sometime.
Oh, yeah,
this week.
yeah. I'd hate to disappoint you, sons of bitches. We wouldn't fucking want that, would we?
So was it worth it?
No, Brad, it wasn't worth it. No movies you drag me out to, sans a couple, are ever worth it, Brad.
Well, this summer you had Brave and
Brave was
Spider-Man.
Right.
You were Spider-Man.
I was a Spider-Man.
I'd probably rather watch this than Total Recall. But
from what you were describing.
There was no tunnel that went through the core of the fucking earth in this movie.
Oh my god.
We were talking about this before this movie started, where I said to you, I was like, I don't actually know what this movie's about. I've never seen the other 2 movies. And we saw a couple trailers for this thing. Like, we saw one before Ice Age, and Dave and I saw one before the Katy Perry thing.
Yeah.
And I said, it was like, having seen the full trailer a couple times, I can't tell you what this fucking movie's about. And now, having seen it, I can't tell you what this fucking movie's about.
It's exactly what I thought it was. A whole bunch of awkward,
really awkward. Yeah.
Humor?
I guess.
Really,
really fucking awkward. The movie is, in a nutshell, it's just that the kid in the movie, just wants to spend the entire summer playing video games, and in the first bit of the movie, I was kind of like, I relate to this kid, alright? That's what I did in my fucking summers, I just stayed in playing video games. This is like the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then throughout all of it, throughout the whole thing, the kid is just really whiny.
He is.
Like, he's really he mopes through the entire movie. He complains. Granted, Granted, the stuff he's complaining about is shit I would complain about too, but the difference is this kid puts himself in all of these situations.
Yeah.
You know, he's hanging out with people who seem to annoy him, which is understandable because I find his friends fucking annoying. That little kid who looks like a fucking pumpkin.
He did look suspiciously like a pumpkin.
Yeah. So that's, and then at the end of the movie, it ends with him going like, "This was the best summer ever." Like, really? It fucking was? Really? You did nothing but fucking bitch the entire fucking movie?
Another goddamn children's movie, family movie, about white people problems.
It was.
It
Yeah.
was. It was this...
Man, I can't get into the country club.
I can't get into the country club. Shucks! Son of a bitch. I've been kicked out of country clubs when I first walked into the fucking places before. Whitey ass middle class bastard. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I didn't know Steve Zahn was in this thing.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Again, I haven't seen the other two. But Steve Zahn is the dad who George McFly's the shit out of the role.
He does.
I'm talking like pre-Marty going back to 1955 George McFly.
Yep.
Eating like a big old thing of peanut brittle, watching the honeymooners. So, like, the kid, yeah, he just kind of wants to sit on his ass and play video games, and then his dad in the movie's bugging him about, like, you know, doing sports and shit like that. It's like, just let the fucking kid play video games. He's not a fucking sports kid. He's obviously not a fucking sports guy. Let him play his fucking game. He's not fucking hurting anybody. So the movie is basically just a series of sketches.
Yeah.
Like, he goes with his friend to, like, their getaway, and he makes an awkward scene. He makes an awkward scene at the country club. Okay, so he has a crush on this girl in the movie, and, he gets her number at the beginning, but she gets distracted, so he only gets the first 5 digits.
Fucking thing. Well, yeah, he gets the 555.
Yeah.
42. Whoa, wacky.
And so there's a scene where he's like, "Oh, I know, I can just go through 0 to 99 and try to find her number that way." So he writes out a chart.
That's incredibly stalkerish, don't you think?
He writes out a chart to go 0 to 99 as if he doesn't know how to count to 99.
It gets really tricky after 10. He has like this little 0. Nope, it's not that one.
Yeah.
1. Mm-hmm. Whoa, not that one either.
Yeah, and apparently, like, there's several people at this school who have, like, her exact number except for the last 2 digits, because they get a hold of, like, that nerdy kid, and then, like, the angry coach, and stuff like that, like a dry cleaning place. Hello! And there were kids in the audience, and I swear to God, like, it was probably the same fucking audience that was at Ice Age, because there was some wacky thing happened where, like, the kid fell on his ass and something hit him in the face. The fucking kid in the back is, "Oh, not the face!" Did you hear the kid start?
I did hear that. It was during the tennis.
Oh, yeah. Where she couldn't figure out.
She couldn't figure out after her and her friend pelted these little fuckers for like 45 minutes with 100-mile-per-hour fastball tennis balls going at them. She didn't figure out that maybe these guys have no fucking idea how to play tennis.
Until they beat them by like 100.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
Are you sure you know how to play this?
Did you hear the kid start crying after the ghost story?
Oh, I did!
There's a part in the movie where they're all camping, because he makes him become like a Cub Scout at one point, and then they're sitting around the campfire telling this ghost story that has to do with like a creepy hand or something like that. And then, like, of course, the scene ends with like this creepy old scoutmaster, like with a black cloak over himself, and he scares the kid like with his hand. And then he's like, "Boo!" And there's like a music stinger. All the kids are like, ah! And this little kid in the back's like,
don't cry, little buddy. It's just a story.
I kind of felt like this movie should have been in 3D.
I was actually kind of thinking that too.
Yeah, there are several points in the movie where it cuts to like flip book animation, which is kind of trippy. It cuts to like flip book animation and shit like that, and it was like it seems like I would have been fairly decent in 3D. I don't know. We got trailers for the beginning of this that all of them were like clearly 3D trailers.
Yeah.
I liked the brother. Mick Jagger was his brother.
Yeah.
I kind of like the brother, alright. He was kind of dumb and looked just like fucking Mick Jagger. You can't convince me this kid's not fucking British in real life.
No, he did look a lot like Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
He did. And even when at that final scene when they're doing the Sweet 16,
that chick was 16.
He did that weird rooster strut thingy that Mick Jagger does.
Yeah. There were a couple of parts where I like laughed and then hated myself because it was. What was it?
There was
at the thing at the beginning. That was kind of funny. Where he's like. Where he wants to ask that girl out, and his fucking friend is like, "You'll see her in the fall," and he's like, "But dude, a lot could happen in 3 months." And these kids, they're like in 7th grade, and then it flashes forward, like a fantasy sequence. It flashes forward like the next fall at school, and he's like, "Oh, hey, how was your summer?" She's great. I got married, just with like this little like the nerdy Indian kid.
Nerdy Indian kid. Yeah, that was funny.
I actually laughed at that. I was like, I didn't expect that. And that
the family circus thing.
That was funny.
I liked that.
Yeah, the movie was, there's a subplot in this movie that's a huge knock on family circus, and the only way that he and his dad bond in this movie is that they hate the family circus so fucking much that they sit in the morning at the table, like, put down their, you look at this. And it's not called family circus, it's called Little Cutie.
Little Cutie.
And the little kids do is...
It's like this, it's a tiny kid with the big head, like the, drawn like the precious memory thing.
Yeah.
Little body, big head, giant eyes, and it says some
It said, you're my BFF, best father forever.
Yeah.
Steve's all like, that's not even a joke. And there was one towards the end, too, that...
Daddy, is there a way that you could make my hiccups hick down? That one they didn't even respond. They just looked at the paper in disgust.
I could relate to that because I did the same fucking thing.
Oh, I hate the fucking family circus. I knew exactly what they were talking about.
Oh, God, me too, because I did the same fucking thing. When I was in school and had study hall and was sitting there reading the paper, which is what I did in study hall, with the fucking newspaper sitting there, I would always like, oh, God, what the fuck is Bill Keane doing today? Can I text Grandma in heaven? Like, that's not a joke! I do the same thing, so that made me laugh. And then they're like, oh, look! And the headline in the paper that was like, little cutie cartoonist to retire.
Yes, finally, we're done with that. and then the end one was like, the son decided to take over.
Which that happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it did happen.
Yeah. The son decides to take over, and it shows a picture of like the cartoonist and his son, and the cartoonist is this old man, but then his son looked kind of like us. Like, it's just this look of like shame on his face. No, he had Steve Zahn or something. No, it's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. Which is a line that I'm not sure they probably should have put in a movie like this.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have.
There was one weird gag in it too, where it was the climax, like he said, is at this bitchy girl's sweet 16 party. Who, I'm sorry, yeah, she was 16 going on 35. And the little sister looked more 16 than she did.
Yeah, she did.
They all did. They all looked like they were fucking 16 years old. And so, he gets, the older brother has a crush on the bitchy girl, and he wants his band to play at her Sweet 16 event. And, the band's name is Loaded Diaper. Loaded Diaper, yeah. Loaded Diaper. So, so then the main kid says to his brother, he's like, you're gonna thank me forever. I got you a gig. You're playing at Wendy Peppercorn's Wendy Peppercorn's Sweet 16 party. And the older brother's like that, and he gets himself on Loaded Diaper, assemble. It shows
they did the Batman.
They did the Batman thing with the faces of the
faces on them, and it's loaded.
And as Jake and I are just,
God damn it!
God fucking damn it! Did you notice the very rampant homoeroticism in this movie?
There was a lot of that. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't just me then.
Well, there was that whole shower scene.
Yeah, the shower scene at the beginning where the kid is like, he and his little brother, the little brother, have to go into the little brother who's like not seen again in the rest of the movie.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, they are in the changing room at the local pool, and there's all these like greasy, sweaty, hairy men strutting about, and the kid's like, oh, I don't want to look at the dongs, whoa. And then the little kid goes missing and ends up in the shower with one of them. Yeah. Like, whoa, runs out of the shower with like this old man inside of it. Like, what the fuck?
The old man doesn't even acknowledge a single fucking thing.
So apparently he didn't fucking mind.
Why, hello, little one.
Mm-hmm. And the CPR scene with the older brother and
he had a reason to kind of be upset and start crying after that, because clearly he was conscious.
Yeah,
the entire fucking time. Like the Wendy Peppercorn is up on she's a lifeguard, and he's trying to get her to make out with him, so he fakes drowning.
Yeah,
but she's too busy being a cunt towards this little girl that she doesn't notice. And some bald guy is like, "Oh, somebody's drowning," so he jumps in and like pulls him out. The entire time he's pulling him out, the brother's like, "Wait, what are you doing? Wait, stop! Wait, no, I'm not drowning." And he takes him out and he flops him on the ground, and the point of view is looking down at him like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, no, I'm fine." And then the bald guy just it does it like 3 times, and at the end of the third one, the older brother's just crying and whimpering.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him, because he was just molested.
Yeah, he was molesting the dude.
He was. If somebody's having a conversation with you when you pull them out for drowning, they're fucking fine.
So you didn't do that when you were a lifeguard?
No. No, I
I'll save you, sir.
I'll save you, sir.
I'm fine. No, I got you.
No, sir, calm down. I got you.
I'm fine. No, sir, you're not. You're in shock. I'm fine. Hang on, sir. Now stop screwing around.
You're screwing around. That's what I did.
I was never there when you were a lifeguard. You told me about that. That's all you did, just on the...
I just sat on that big-ass lifeguard chair.
Did you have the nose, the yellow nose, like,
sunscreen? The sunscreen on the nose? I didn't put it on my nose. I put it, like, right here between my eyebrows, because I didn't want that area to get too sunburnt.
Hey! You're screwing around.
And that's all I did. I was like, little kids would show up and just beat the shit out of each other and splashing and having fun. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And usually when they came running by horse playing around, I would just look down and be like, hey, quit screwing around. You're screwing around too much.
Did they stop screwing around?
No.
Little bastards.
You little fuckers. They did not respect my authority.
There was that other scene, too, where the kid and his friend have to share like a bed together, and it's this close to being as homoerotic as the climax of Superbad. It's like, you know what? Everyone in this movie, just fuck. Seriously.
Yeah. Just get that out of the way.
Yeah, that was like that whole scene where he's with his friend, like at their country house or whatever, and they're playing a game called like, This Is How Much I Love You. So the kid has to tell like his friend's dad that he loves him because I love you because and he can't think of anything, and the dad like starts crying. This movie sucks.
This movie's so fucking stupid.
Oh, that email thing, that was dumb. Where he sends out that mass email.
Oh yeah, so the whiny mopey ass kid is staying with Pumpkin, and Pumpkin's family is just driving him nuts. So he gets this brilliant idea to go send out a mass email
from the dad's
account. So he gets on the computer. He writes like,
help.
Please help me. These people are driving me crazy. And the Pumpkin's dad was in the bathroom, and he was, I'm coming back to my computer now.
Yeah.
And so he hits like send all, basically.
Yeah.
And sends it to everyone in this dude's inbox. And then it cuts. And then the next morning he walks downstairs and he's like, I have 929 unread messages.
Yeah.
Like, did you honestly think that was going to work? Then he accidentally calls the cops. This kid's a fucking asshole.
The movie wants to be like The Sandlot. It really does, because... But The Sandlot... I mean, The Sandlot was like, at least like, genuine, you know? Like, the characters in the Sandlot, even when there were some over-the-top characters in The Sandlot, they were at least genuine about it. They kind of fit along with what was going on, you know? In this, it's all really over the top forced. Like the bitchy rich friend or the older sister, you know, and the kid, his friend, his little fat fuck friend, again, really over the top to where I'm sitting there like, does this kid have some condition or something? Yeah,
they were playing up like the super overprotective, I guess.
Yeah.
Parents for Pumpkin.
Yeah.
And which fucked Pumpkin up, but it was too much.
Yeah.
It was just way too much, and then we got the stereotypical smart Indian kid.
Yeah.
Who hammed that roll up.
Oh yeah, he whittled like a thing
he whittled
man.
Fuck.
I know. Help me out here.
Shiva. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he whittled.
Me too. I only know Shiva from Indiana Jones. Oh, that's what she really looks like.
Yeah, Brad. That's exactly what she looks like. That's where Indiana Jones got that entire thing from, was Hinduism.
I only know that from Indiana Jones. I take that movie at its word.
And you should. It is gospel. Yeah, he whittles Shiva out of a piece of wood, and then there's that weird ginger kid who overplayed
the nerd.
The nerd.
He's sitting in his classroom with an owl. Like,
exactly.
Like
like a giant stuffed owl, and he's sharing a book with the main asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, world history is fun.
I thought that was supposed to be like just like a fantasy sequence or something.
That's
like
what
that.
I thought.
But,
yeah, that's what the main kid was imagining.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but like apparently no, it's perfectly okay to just have this big fucking owl in there if you're a nerdy kid.
Where the fuck did it come from? They showed like a pan out of everyone in the classroom. I did not see a giant stuffed owl anywhere in the class, and then it's just magically there.
Well, magic. I mean, like, he's a nerdy kid, so he's obviously a magician.
I find that racist, sir.
If there's one thing these movies taught me, the nerdy kids, they can speak to the animals, and they know magic.
Is that what you get from these movies,
It's
Brad?
exactly what I get from these movies. Just, ooh. See?
Get the fuck out.
See, you know magic. You just made the window open.
Yes, Brad. Yes. I'm a wizard.
Nerd. Is that why you didn't like Harry Potter? Too stereotypical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't like it. I sat through all of the Harry Potters.
That movie is blackface for wizards.
You are not allowed to show wands. That is our thing, sir. How dare you? You're going to get a stern letter.
I just didn't like... I don't really know what else to say about this movie. I just sat there like kind of just uncomfortable and... I mean, yeah, miserable, of course, because it wasn't very good, but, like, yeah, it was just more awkward than funny, and I get it, you know, like, I get, like, okay, he is an awkward kid, alright, fine. It can at least be enjoyable, because The Sandlot, you know, that was about an awkward kid, you know, but it was at least funny.
Yeah,
And that kid... you know, at least showed, yeah, there were times in The Sandlot where, you know, yeah, he had trouble fitting in, you know, and he was kind of down about some stuff. But
yeah, he was down, he was awkward, but he came across just shy.
He did, yeah, and he had just moved to a new town, so he didn't know anybody. But as the movie went on, he got progressively happier, and happier, and fit in and made all these best friends, and it was legitimate. Like, it came across really real.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. This kid is mopey through the entire movie, except at the end when he and his dad are watching TV and eating pizza, and he pranks like the scoutmaster that was an elaborate fucking prank.
We really need...
We gotta do that today.
We're doing that today.
When we do our October camping trip, we're fucking doing that today.
Well, the idea was that we're gonna put a whole bunch of string in between two trees, like a spider web.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna coat it with honey. So
the thickest fucking strings.
Yeah. The huge yarn and
yeah.
globs of honey, so he would stick to it.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna gather up a bunch of ants and put it in his sleeping bag. Now stay with me, this is where it gets wacky. Now he's going to go into the sleeping bag and it's full of ants! I'm in a spider web now! Alright, this plan cannot possibly fail. Let's do this. Oh, it failed.
Well, he did end up in the net. The tent accidentally, you know, one thing led to another, the tent caught fire.
Like you do.
So then the dad, like, he's like, I'm reporting you to the scout president, Council, yeah.
Elders, I don't know what the fuck they were called.
Turns around
there's that spider web we covered with honey. See, we used that. Yay!
And then it animates him falling off a cliff. And
like a 400-foot cliff.
Yeah, and gets his head caught in like a bee's nest. Bees! I couldn't tell, like when it went to animation, I couldn't really tell who was who because they didn't look like any of the actual
they
characters.
Absolutely nothing like it.
This movie's it's based on a book. Is that from the book? Like doodles and stuff?
Doodles. I think I never read the books. I heard that they're actually not bad.
Yeah.
I can't give you an opinion. I never read them, but from what I understand, like the author, whoever makes little animations, that's how that person draws them.
Okay. But yeah, in the movie, it was kind of hard to follow a little bit with that because they just didn't look anything like the whoever it was supposed to look like.
Weren't you paying attention? They had them all coming out in their animated form, and then it dissolved, and then that's who that character plays. That weird drawn one is played by Mopes McGiggles.
I wasn't gonna remember that. It was giving me a headache, to be honest.
It was just irritating me.
It really was giving me a headache whenever that happened.
I don't relate well to awkward white people humor. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Not a big John Cusack fan?
No. Actually,
I like Cusack.
Honestly,
I love Cusack.
I don't even like Seinfeld.
Oh, you don't like
I
Seinfeld?
hated Seinfeld.
I liked Seinfeld, alright.
But it was just, for me, just that weird, awkward humor. It just does nothing for me.
George is getting upset!
Exactly. It does absolutely nothing for me. I was a fan of Martin. Martin is where it was at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Shenanay.
Oh, Shenanay.
Man, Tommy, you ain't got no job!
I love Martin.
Martin was great. Oh, yeah, I watched the shit out of Martin. This was back when Fox was good.
Yeah. So yeah, this movie was a complete waste of getting the fuck up early.
But now we got the whole day to enjoy.
No, we don't, Brad. I gotta go to work tonight.
Oh shit, you do.
Yes, I do. You prick.
Sorry.
I get one day off this week. I don't get it until Thursday. And right in the middle of my fucking work week, I gotta see this goddamn thing at 10 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Well, I think this might be the last kids movie of the summer.
Oh, good.
Well, wait.
No, Paranorman.
Paranorman.
I think I'm going to take Sarah to that.
To Paranorman.
Yeah.
It looks better than
It looks...
this.
Yeah. I hope.
The next week is in like 4 days is Born Legacy and the fucking Campaign.
I'm not watching that.
The Campaign.
No, I fucking can't stand Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And I like Zach Galifianakis when he does his stand-up.
Yeah, I liked. I did like The Hangover. Second one, not so much. I like Due Date.
Oh yeah.
Due Date, I liked. But yeah,
This just looks...
the Campaign looks fucking terrible. It just looks fucking terrible. So I think we're seeing that, and I think we're seeing those movies when we're in Chicago for the con.
Oh yeah, have fun with that.
We'll have to flip coins on who has to go see the Campaign. Well, I don't think Hotel Transylvania comes out in the summer.
What?
I don't think Hotel Transylvania comes out in the summer.
Oh, thank God. I am limited to one Adam Sandler movie every 10 fucking years.
Once every 10 years.
Once every decade. Then I'll try it. Well, maybe he's changed over 10 years. No. Still that same stupid fucking tired routine. Mm-hmm. Yay.
Yeah. Well, next summer I think is Grown Ups 2. I don't know. I didn't see the first one, so I don't know if it'll hold up. Still upset about that ghost story.
Really upset about that ghost story.
The hand is coming to get me. The hand.
I should go up behind the kid. Oogie boogie boogie boogie.
Don't worry, kid. We didn't like it either. I fucking love it whenever we have to do the walk of shame. Whenever we come out of
Whenever
one of
we
these
come
fucking
out,
things.
two grown ass men.
Yeah.
Everyone just immediately. What are you doing in there?
What are you boys doing?
Don't you know who I am?
I'm the Madagascar guy.
I'm the Madagascar guy. You know me. Come on.
Yeah, we leave the fucking guys like, have a nice day, boys. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, prick.
It's going to 2 for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, 3 Dog Days. Because you gotta say the whole title.
You gotta say the whole title.
Did you do that for Madagascar? Did you say 1 for Madagascar 3?
Europe's Most Wanted. Yeah, I did that.
For Ice Age 4, what the fuck was the subtitle for that? Continental Drift. One for Ice Age 4, Continental Drift. Fucking sweating balls.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to say. It's of course it's not very good.
No, it was.
I was just uncomfortable through the movie. I didn't think it was funny. The couple parts I laughed at, I already said. Steve Zahn deserves much better than this.
Yeah, he does.
They do a sequel to Strange Wilderness. At least that'll be better than this fucking movie. And I didn't even care that much for Strange Wilderness.
Fuck this movie.
Oh, how about that shark at the beginning that ate the guy in the audience?
Oh, they ate the guy in the audience?
Real
that
quick.
was all right.
They do, like, every time there's an animated movie out, they have to do something where it's characters from said movie telling you not to turn on your phones. They did it for Madagascar, they did it for Ice Age, and now they're doing it for Finding Nemo 3D. So there's a guy, it's like a little silhouette of people in the front row, and there's a guy who's on his cell phone, like, yeah, oh, I have some dinner tonight, fish, I don't know, sushi, and the fish on the screen are like, what? And then suddenly a shark appears before the screen. He's like, ooh, delicious, and eats the guy. Just fucking eats him. Just swallows him whole. You see the cell phone floating around, and then it says,
And then, please turn off your cell phone.
yeah.
The goddamn Finding Nemo is playing for keeps.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna get eaten by a fucking shark.
Well, Brad, maybe you shouldn't be having loud conversations in the middle of a goddamn movie theater.
The only time that would ever happen is where a shark comes out of the theater to eat you would be Jaws 3D. With a fucking bread box shark slowly coming towards the window. Wow, the 3Ds are really good.
This 3D is amazing.
I like how the shark eats this fucking guy in the audience, and then it just goes, Finding Nemo, rated G. Like in big letters, rated G. That's all I got. We're heading to the con Thursday. We'll be gone all weekend. We'll be shooting a bunch of shit up there that I'll be posting next week. I'll try to get something posted before we take off. So, yeah, the next movies we'll be seeing Bourne Legacy and The Campaign, so we'll see you then. Skip Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3 Dog Days, but no one is watching this out of curiosity to see if the movie's any
I
fucking
wonder if
good.
that movie is any good. I should probably watch this honest and unbiased review. See what these two chaps think of this movie.
Huh, well, second thought, maybe I shouldn't go see this.
Well, thank God they're here on the interweb to save me from watching really bad movies.
Madagascar guy and Prometheus Brad didn't like it.
I got slack for not liking Madagascar 3.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did kind of get some flack. I mean, not as much as I got over Prometheus or Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, the Dark Knight one, that was funny.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that shit. The only thing that I've gone to see this summer where it was unanimous, like nobody disagreed with us, was Total Recall. It was like, yeah, that movie was shit. Alright, we'll see you next week.